Fat Chicken, which is the original Don, got killed.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
I
just can't do it, man. All right, welcome back to SpaceShow. This episode, I don't know, we're gonna talk about a little more about band, and then I think we're gonna cool it with that stuff for a while.
The final stage of band for us.
Yeah, we're trying recording. If you see picture right now, cool. If you don't, It didn't work out.
I'm totally gonna forget there's a camera there and I'm gonna do something stupid.
Yeah. So, yeah, we decided we wanted to, talk about how, entertainment drumlines and things like that, non-competitive sorts. Because Danny is in the U of I marching band, and I'm with the Chicago Bulls drumline.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar, but different beasts.
I mean, we've both drummed at basketball games, so I'm semi-professional and professional.
Do you want to start off, or you want me to go?
You can start off.
So, in the fall of 2017, the director of Pioneer Indoor is the same director of the Chicago Bulls drumline, and they were just having auditions. So, they were through video, and I decided why not try it out. I submitted my video with 2 or 3 days left to the deadline.
Yeah.
And I got a callback. They were only doing callbacks for videos.
Now, tell me about these videos, because I've seen some videos and people are going wow, they're woo, Bulls drumline.
From what I remember, the description was big personalities. Follow this this track, upload it to YouTube, and just show us how much you can draw a crowd in.
Yeah.
So they pretty much don't want to see how good of a drummer you are per se, but they want to see can you play good eighth notes while yelling?
Can you be entertaining?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the high school I was teaching at the time, Brother Rice, the band room was unlocked. I asked the director, hey, I want to record this. He said, sure. I think I set up 3 quads in a little box with a bass drum behind me.
Yeah.
And I only played one of the quads and hit the bass twice, but it was just to be super loud and extra.
And it was enough for a callback.
It was enough for a callback. Some people did not get callbacks.
Yeah, some people I've seen jumped in pools and played their drums.
Oh man, that's something I hope one day we can talk more about.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Maybe. But
so I get a callback, and it's at this one random drum shop in Chicago, nowhere near the United Center, but it's some buddies of buddies place. They got the drums there, and we did maybe 20 minutes of drumming in total for a 5-hour audition.
Yeah.
We get there, introduce ourselves. A lot of these dudes know each other from the years prior on Bulls, or they did bears with one another. I only know people through either them teaching me or friend of a friend. So I'm pretty much the odd man out. They go around the room. All right, you two. You guys are partners. For what? We had to act, because along with drumming, it's a lot of how much are you going to interact with people or whatever on the spot. You don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So they played 3 or 4 songs. We were not allowed to speak. We just had to act what we wanted with each other and play off each other to the music.
Emotions in your face, how it made you feel, or would you do actions with each other, maybe start dancing?
Kinda.
What would you do?
I think some of the songs were the Superman theme. Sweet Home Chicago, something kind of sad. It was just a wide genre. And all of a sudden, me and this girl that I've never met before look at each other and okay, what are we about to do? And we weren't allowed to speak.
Fall in love.
And she definitely led the charge with that one.
Yeah.
Because I was new to this whole thing. I was scared. I didn't want to embarrass myself. Because it was just the 2 Bulls entertainment managers along with the director. So one guy that knows drumming, and then 2 people that solely know entertainment.
So it's actual people from the Bulls organization?
Yeah.
That's intimidating.
It's okay, I don't want to start off on the wrong foot. I think for Sweet Home Chicago, I pretended I was playing air guitar, and she was rocking out. There was some Tom and Jerry bit where it was super high silo,
yeah.
Supposed to be a chase, yeah. So I pretended there was a bug on the ground, and I took the one stool that was in the room that I don't think we were supposed to play with, and I just pretended to smash it.
Break the stool?
Oh my god, I took them by surprise. Boof! I just see everyone at the desk just jump up.
So there's a bug in your face.
And it was just crazy. Like, that's not what I expected going into this audition.
Yeah.
It was mostly that, and we had to wait for each group of 2, so that took about like an hour and a half.
Wow. And you just waited around for
Yeah,
that?
we just kind of hung out, chatted with each other, and then they gave us one audition piece, one of our tunes. I didn't know that the quad part was different and not written out at all, so I didn't have the right part. We had to then go into an individual audition with the same panel of drum a little bit of that tune, play something you enjoy, and then here's Bruno Mars play with this.
Yeah.
It went okay.
So it was like you were like sight reading it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, we all came together with that one piece, and then played it as the whole drum line. And it was like groups A and B, and then, all right, we'll email you guys your results.
Wow.
You'll hear back from us by Tuesday.
Was it like A group and B group, or is it like a better group and a not?
No.
It's a great group? Okay.
Because a lot of them have done this for years. Like entertainment drum lines at Bears or Bulls.
Is it all vets all coming back to audition too at the callbacks?
Pretty much. I think there might have been 1 or 2 new people. Me and one of the other quad drummers, Tom Benko. He's been on Bears for years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everyone who's auditioning there has an in of some sort.
Everyone has like hung out with each other at least once or twice.
Yeah, and luckily we know Adam.
Yeah, that was definitely very helpful.
Yeah. And now I know you.
There you go. You guys just got to get in there. Let me know.
Telling you, once I get out of school, move back home. It's my next, that's on the agenda.
But yeah, they waited till about Monday night at 11:30 p.m. and all of a sudden I get an email. Congrats, you have a contract.
Yeah.
And that was like super cool to me. Just something I kind of wanted to throw like a chance at.
Yeah.
Like I have no expectation of like actually making it. Let's just see how this goes or if it happens.
It's a recognizable name. It's something to be like really excited about.
Yeah.
The Bulls.
And yeah, got the contract. They offered second auditions to some people, but some of the people just didn't show up to the second audition.
How many people got cut? Did vets get cut?
There were some vets that got cut. Not from the second audition or from the audition, but from the videos in general.
Why do you think that is? Just like try or change things
some
up?
people definitely had the complex of I've been here for years.
Yeah.
Other people took that audition as I gotta ram a jam some notes rather than let me be entertaining, because that was a big pivoting point of that group of we're gonna play as many notes as we can, double beat 9000 to now we're mostly like it's an entertainment group.
Focus more on what people are gonna be, the general audience is gonna care about.
Yeah, what's Joe Blow in 305 gonna say about this drumline performance?
Try to catch eyes and things like that.
Yeah. So now it is a lot more dancing, a little less notes. We still throw in some of the goofiest stuff I've ever played, just because we can appreciate it for those 2 bars.
It makes it entertaining for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to have a good time while we're getting paid to drum.
I do I've seen a couple of like your halftime shows at the games, and I do like the fact that you guys like do dance a lot, and like sometimes you have just like full like dance breaks. I feel like that is more entertaining for the general audience.
And it's really cool because a lot of that dancing comes from within the group. We don't like hire a choreographer.
That's cool. Yeah.
One dude that marched Pio Outdoor, B. Brown, freaking amazing drummer, even better dancer. He's like a DJ. And he's like, all right, like, what if we try this? Starts messing with his feet. And I have to be in the back. Hey, I'm not going to lie. I just can't do it, man. I can stand here and play some flam drags, but it's definitely helped me, like, come out of my shell more as, like, a performer, too.
Yeah.
Like, every time I'm in that tunnel to, like, go on. I know no one understands. It's not judged. No one's going to care at the end of the day. But it's still just, like, nerve-wracking of I'm performing at the United Center. Oh,
and it's a big crowd every night, too.
Yeah.
It's not like that. I guarantee that crowd's bigger than UD at finals night.
Oh, for sure.
At least, like, they're close. UD's, like, the biggest performance, like, and, like, DCI semifinals is the biggest, like, performances I've ever been at. And, like, I guarantee you, like, you break that every game.
Yeah, because, like, no one's showing up for the drumline, but it's still just super cool. I've been there for 3 years now. We haven't re-auditioned since I've been there. If we have a hole, we just kind of hit up some buddies.
So it's not formal auditions, but
my audition was the formalist of auditions.
Okay, so, but you have had like spots open and people come in. Yes, they still have to send in like videos and things. Like we had some bass spots. Yeah, it's like, hey, I know a guy. Cool. Yeah, have him send me an email and we'll test it out. It's not like, hey, we're the Chicago Bulls drumline. We're holding auditions here. Yeah, and sending our videos to here. Yeah, okay. I gotcha. See, when you said that, I literally thought that you guys just hadn't taken anybody new and nobody's left the line in 3 years. And I was like,
I'm a little worried if I'm once I get home, if I'm not going to be able to be a part of it. But
I think we've had maybe 2 or 3 people leave the line. I think we also just added 2 or 3 people to expand.
Yeah.
Because before I got there, I think the line was about 20, like mid-20s to 30 people. Mm-hmm. Now it's maybe 12 or 11.
Yeah, it looks way smaller.
Just because before they would be able to split up their games. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I want to go to these 2 games, but I'm busy. Let me sub out with this guy. Which led to people just flaking out. One game I was told there was 2 snares, a quad, and a bass.
Wow. And
we at least put on like a full drum line every time we're there now.
Yeah. I mean, it is cool watching you guys. But do you wish you guys played harder things?
To an extent. I mean, we have the halftime tunes, like the mid-game performances, but then we also have a pre- and post-game performance where we do play like cadences. Like we play Latin Lover from the Cavaliers. I think we play it a little watered down, but still a little choppy.
Yeah.
We play a lot of hype things, just things that the director himself has written, and then we rewrite the quad parts because he's just a snare drummer. It happens.
Yeah.
So do I wish it was choppier? Sure, I do wish some things were choppier, but at the end of the day, for like the performances, for the timeouts, I think those are fine.
It's not really what you're there to do.
Yeah, we already have enough stress trying to bring out all our stuff with mics and everything because we barely get roadies. If we do, we don't know that till we're in the tunnel.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Sounds stressful. Now, you got to drum at the All-Star Weekend this year.
I did. I originally wasn't.
Yeah, I remember being really excited for you initially because you were telling me that the Bulls drumline was going to be drumming at the All-Star Weekend, which is really hype for me as like a big basketball fan.
Yeah.
And then you told me that you wouldn't be able to do it for, I forget why, wasn't it like your CNA stuff?
Yeah, I got a job at a hospital, and that was the same week as orientation, like all our rehearsals. And I told him, I can show up, but I can't make the practices, so I don't know how good I'm going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then one of our cymbal players dropped, and there was an opening, to which I was approached. Mm-hmm. And I was very honest saying, I can come after these orientations, but I can't be there before.
Yeah.
I just cannot skip these. All right, do what you can. And honestly, a lot of it was just standing around because we had to rehearse with the rest of the NBA entertainment division.
Yeah. And, like, how much did you guys do in the whole spectrum of the weekend?
Do you mean performances or rehearsals?
Yeah, like, what you rehearsed for and what you did, like...
So, our rehearsals were over at the Wintrust Arena. Mm-hmm. And we had one at the United Center because everything was being blocked off. I was in the first 50 people to see the court with all the decals because they weren't letting news or anything in. We were just in there for work.
Yeah.
We had like 5 or 6 hour rehearsals at night, but we wouldn't be rehearsing the whole time.
Yeah, you'd just be sitting around. I remember getting a lot of Snapchats from you, just be sitting around and be like, I'm getting paid to sit around.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's some of the best stuff.
Watch other people rehearse. Yeah.
There was one night where we straight up... I didn't touch a drum. I got there kind of late, and everyone else had already drummed, and I just kind of got there. They just needed bodies for the celebrity game.
Yeah. To
work on the entrances and things of, okay, this graphic will show up here, this graphic will show up there, and this is how the tunnels will be. So I pretended to be Stephen A., one of the coaches. I didn't know who he was. Apparently he's a big ESPN guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a night
Stephen
for
A.
6 hours, I pretended to be someone, and we all just kind of hung around a table.
Yeah, Stephen A. is a pretty big announcer.
Hey guys, real quick, just wanted to recognize that Danny is aware that Stephen A. is a commentator, not an announcer. Now back to your program.
I was just worried about Guy Fieri.
Well, Guy Fieri was not worried about you, so...
No.
Don't you worry.
Yeah, I performed at the at the celebrity game and the rehearsal for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So I did a timeout at celebrity game, which was a lot of fun.
Were all the celebrities there?
Yes. Chance the Rapper, Guy Fieri, Hannibal Buress,
Ninja.
Bad Bunny.
Ninja
was not on a team, but he was there.
But Guy Fieri was on a team?
He was a coach, assistant coach.
Okay, I was like, I could not imagine him playing basketball.
I couldn't imagine Hannibal. Oh, it was one of the funniest things at the game.
Yeah.
So you know how when there's a foul, you get your free throws? Mm-hmm. Let's say team Hannibal's over here, right? Yeah. The free throws are taking place on the other side, and Hannibal's still on the bench. All of a sudden, the guy goes for the free throw, and Hannibal just stands up. Boo! As loud as he could. And I started cracking up because I'm sitting courtside at this because there just weren't a lot of people at the game.
Yeah.
This is freaking hilarious. He doesn't care what's going on right now. He's just here for a good time.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. What other cool stories do you have from your time drumming at NBA games? Didn't you get to see LeBron James?
I did see.
From very close.
I accidentally met LeBron James. So at normal Chicago Bulls games, we are held in a locker room. Mm-hmm. Usually it's the visiting NHL team locker room. So whenever there's hockey games, Blackhawks have their own, and then they put the other team in this one that we're usually in.
Yeah.
Which happens to be super close to visiting NBA locker room. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, some of the Stampede dudes come in. Yo, LeBron James is right outside that door. He's like just kind of warming up, getting loose. And I don't know. I don't like basketball too much, but I knew that was like a name. Mm-hmm. So I decided, let me walk out, pretend like I had something to do, because they're making sure people stay like away from all these players.
Pretend like I know this guy.
Yeah. So I walk out, give him like a head nod, and say hey, and he just looks back at me and gives me a head nod. So that was how I met LeBron James.
You got a head nod from LeBron James.
That's more than you got.
Listen, guy.
I got to drum with Chance the Rapper.
Also the All-Star Weekend, right?
Yes, after the Celebrity Game, when he was done playing, we were going to do a quick post-game tune. Yeah. I just played Latin Lover or something. All of a sudden, this guy comes out in a jersey and starts playing on our bottom bass, and we all look, and it was Chance the Rapper. So we all got a photo with him, which I'm like barely in. But no, it was like super sweet. Met him, and then after the game, they weren't carding for anyone's like. You had to wear a wristband to get into the celebrity area.
Sure, yeah.
They stopped checking after the game.
Oh.
So I'm like, this is my chance. So I snuck in. I met Guy Fieri. I met Ninja. I just missed Hannibal Buress.
Damn.
That was like my third. But the other two were closer, and I didn't want to lose that chance. Yeah.
That's good.
So it's pretty sweet. There's a lot of just like stupid stories. I'm the end quad. So at the games, we have like kind of the stock staple for post game. Since I'm on the end, I'm closest to the audience. I get harassed to no end.
What do they say?
Lil man, give me a picture. What up?
Lil man?
Yeah, I straight up had a guy take a selfie with me and then post it on Instagram and then ask me for my handle in front of me. I'm tagged on it still.
Yeah, he tagged you as Lil man?
No, he tagged me like, what's your Instagram? Eddie Falco. Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one.
Nice. That's clout.
People throw money at us sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like we can accept it. We're not allowed to like pocket it, but it goes into our funds.
Tips.
Yeah.
Do you sign autographs ever?
We've signed a couple of like drum heads to like hand out mid-game. Yeah. If they just need us to like do something.
How do you sign it? Do you just sign your name?
Yeah. So we grab like one of the bass heads because it has the logo.
Yeah.
And I just sign like E. Gomez, Eddie Gomez,
nice.
And everyone just signs it. More times than not, though, I take a lot of pictures with little kids.
Oh, why is that, huh? Why do you prefer this?
Well, just after the post game, all the parents are like, go get a photo. You know he's a drummer. Really? Well, you know if you practice and eat your vegetables, you can end up like me. Not a music major.
Brown?
Yeah. Short. So I get a lot of pictures, and then I give away sticks a lot because we have an IP sponsorship.
That's the best.
Yeah. If a stick's broken or if I know it's our last game and I have like 8 sticks in my bags.
Yeah. That's the best.
Take a photo of the kid. I'm like, hey, here you go. And they'll play the drums a little bit.
Yeah.
The mom's, all right, give this stick back, honey. I'm like, no. Huh. Keep it. Like, that's for them to use and like have a keepsake from this game.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it's like, it's fun, like bringing that kind of joy to people.
Yeah, that's like one of the best parts of like being on the university drum line is like we don't get a lot of FaceTime with like the people we drum in front of, but we get to like walk through crowds a lot of the time, and like sometimes you'll just like see like a kid like reaching out for a high five, you'll just give them like your drop stick and your stick bag, and just, like freak out, like especially like the high school competition we have on campus, like the high schoolers go nuts. Like I threw a stick into the stands after a performance, and like 3 kids ran after it.
Oh, come on.
They might have started fighting. I don't know. It might have caused a kid to die that day.
I can only hope. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. That's clout.
Kid dies at local marching band show.
Because of my stick.
Yeah.
My broken stick.
But
yeah, what else is there for Bulls?
I'm not really too sure.
Can't believe it's been 3 years already, though.
It's been going by fast, and then this NBA season got canceled, or the rest of it, due to coronavirus. But I'm still getting paid for the games that I would have played.
Yeah.
Because we're technically day of staff, or game day staff, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And we're all getting our checks to keep us going.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, super nice at the United Center.
Hi, cool.
Oh, we're Instagram living right now.
Yeah, so sorry. I got excited when I saw Cole was in the chat. So yeah.
It's a good time. I'd recommend, like, it's not the most challenging drumming, it's not the most exciting of beats, but it's still something I can put on a resume. People know that before they know drum corps.
Exactly.
Like, if I go up to any Joe Schmo off the streets, oh yeah, no, I'm a musician. I drum for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, that's
they'll know that before.
It's relatable.
I did the Legends Drum and Bugle Corps.
And a lot of people, when you tell them, like, oh, I have a buddy on the Chicago Bulls drum line, a lot of people are like, I didn't even know they had a drum line.
Exactly.
But, like, they still, it's, like, a thing because they're like, wow, that's really cool. Like, yeah, he's drummed at the halftimes. He's met a bunch of famous celebrities. And
I meet the
like
players on accident all the time.
Yeah.
There's super tall dudes after the games in suits. Everyone else in the drum line stops to clear a path. I keep going because I don't know who they are. Like, he's just a well-dressed man. I don't care.
He's very tall.
Yeah.
Very tall man. So, yeah. Should we talk about...
You want to talk about MI?
MI, Marching Illini, the best band...
in the heckin' land.
In the friggin' land. Yeah, so I go to school at the University of Illinois.
Bird up.
Champaign-Urbana. And, yeah, ILL, right? You have to say the thing. Say it.
I.
Yeah, there you
go. Okay.
Nice.
We're out here.
Wow. You do care.
I try my best.
But, so yeah, my freshman year, I didn't do the drum line. Do kind of regret that, but it was because, yeah. Because, well, my freshman year, the marching band, the entire band got to go to Ireland.
Yeah, that's pretty fire.
And that would have, I didn't do marching band that year because I was more focused on doing indoor and marching Rhythm X. And so I was worried that, like, they would conflict at some point, and because Rhythm X was more of a goal for me, I chose to focus on Rhythm X. So, but the way it worked out after the year is that I actually could have been an MI, because I was in marching band the next year and in Rhythm X. So that worked out. And then even then, the Ireland trip aligned with the U of I spring break. So it was during the week, and like there were people on the drum line who were doing like Cabby's indoor, so they didn't have to miss anything. So yeah, it would have worked out. So knowing that, I would have done it. Probably would have been playing cymbals that year because I was a good snare line in 2017. But yeah, so then I finally joined in 2018, and
what's that process like?
The audition.
Yeah.
Well, I was very intimidated, but I didn't. Funny enough, I didn't have my first in-person like camp or audition with the drum line until this year. Like,
really?
A few months ago, yeah, because both years I had to send in videos.
Okay.
Like last year, in my first year, my sophomore year of college was because I was doing Rhythm X, and I couldn't make the camps, which were on weekends in the springtime, so naturally. And then the year after that, what was I doing? Was it because of Legends that I couldn't do audition times?
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, first in-person auditions were 2 years after I'd been on the line already. And I was very nervous. I was very surprised I got a spot, actually, the first time I auditioned, because I had only played snare once ever in like any sort of setting, and that was in high school. And that was nothing really, like, I got better, but that was because I was literally doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I had a lot to get better at, and definitely coming on to a very traditioned and old line, like the U of I snare line, it was very intimidating.
For sure.
Because there were like really good people on the line. But yeah, I was really bad. I got offered. I was actually alternate status at first, and I was placed at the end of the snare line.
Okay.
But I worked really hard and practiced and ate my vegetables.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying, man. Eat your Wheaties, get your flam drags down.
Yeah, that's literally it. I ate my spinach. And like Popeye, my forearms got bigger, and I was able to keep my taps down.
That's all it takes.
But yeah, and I actually got off alternate status. Like at the beginning of the season, I wasn't in anything, and how it works at U of I is not the entire drum line is in every part of the shows. So we have a pregame, halftime, march out, public performance before games. We have a lot of performances, and not the entire line will play at those because they only accept the people who can play clean, or semi-clean, just like good enough to be like loud and exciting, entertaining. Like
sure, no one's expecting like MI to come kill it, but you don't want to embarrass yourself.
You don't want to show up in like and you can, people who aren't in music, they can tell that it sounds bad. That's not the goal. You just want them to be like walking away from it being excited. So the goal was always to only have like better players, and I was definitely not one of them. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't even in pregame, which I was the only snare cut from pregame because we only had 11 snares last year, mm-hmm. and there's usually 12 snares. So yeah, I worked hard and I was able to test in the pregame, and that means is like I have to cut somebody else out of the drill, because it's literally every show only has a set number of spots, because the way the drill's written, it was written like 19 diggity years ago. Yeah. So like our 3-in-1 drill is only 8 snare drummers can march it, because it's meant for meant for like 150 size member size band, and it's so I didn't get into 3-in-1 until this year, but yeah, pregame only has 10 snares, and I was able to test into that last year, and I was able to test into Friday Night Hype, which is a lot of fun. And then eventually I got moved in one spot on the snare line.
Shit, this guy.
Which is very cool. And then came back this year, which is, again, a very fun year. Got a lot better.
What are some traditions you can talk about?
Well, I mean, we've had some of the same cadences in our cadence series since they were written in the 1970s.
That's pretty dope.
By some old balls, yeah. Yeah, that's what we call our alumni. Yeah, and those same guys who wrote the cadences come around and will be like, hey, like I wrote like this thing that you still play, and it's really cool, like to have that alumni base. It's really not something you get in like indoor. Or no. In many drum corps, some drum corps you'll get that. And yeah, we actually did a reunion, a My Drumline reunion, like last year, and that was a lot of fun. Just getting to meet everybody from basically every generation of the drumline, and getting to hear the stories and where certain things come from. Like if you're watching the video or the Instagram live, we have some chickens set up, and they're not chickens per se, but they are pink and they have long legs and a long neck, and they're sort of more tropical birds, but they are in fact party chickens.
It's a fact. We don't use the F word in this household.
Can't say the F word. Yeah, so that's like a big tradition on the drum line. It's like our mascot, it's our symbol, it's our icon. The story of it goes way back in the 70s. The football team was going to the Rose Bowl because they were really good back then. And as is tradition, they took the band, and as is tradition, especially in the 70s, times were a little bit looser, and the drumline was out partying, and they were passing out by people's houses, and because it's on the West Coast, like they have, like lawn ornaments that are like party chickens. So they decided in a drunken stupor to steal, I think they stole 2, maybe 1, but they definitely did steal 1, and they stole it, and they partied with it, and they like showed up to like the MI party and were like, it is time to party with the chicken, and like since then like they partied with it, and then that chicken, which is the original Don, got killed later in the 70s.
Okay.
And so we still have the second original chicken.
Donnie Jr.?
Second Don. And yeah, so we still have that one. That one's like original from like the 70s. That's in some old ball's house, but it's somewhere around.
And it comes out to every performance, right? Or a chicken does?
Not the chicken on that we take out to performances with us. That's not the original. But that one is old. That one's been out since all throughout the 2010s, I believe. Maybe it goes back further. But yeah, we have the chicken, lives on a brick. We carry it around every performance. Every time we play in front of somebody, it has to be in front of us.
It's like such a symbol for you guys, because I noticed with every other section in the marching band here, they get their jackets, they get their whatevers, and like it's just Marching Illini, trumpets, sousaphones. You guys, like everything has a chicken somewhere on it.
Literally, yeah, we get like special,
through the school.
Yeah, our section jackets have the chicken on it. Our sweatbands, special. Only the drumline gets orange sweatbands we wear on our heads, and they have chickens on them. Yeah, it's like literally ingrained into the culture now. It's not uncommon for somebody on the drumline to just be like wearing like a shirt that's just covered in like pink chickens.
At your the marching band show down here, you guys have like a merch booth, and it's MI stuff and then drumline stuff. You guys have like a bigger section than the rest of the marching band.
Arguably better merch as well, because we have like Delta Lambda merch.
It's just like crazy that how much of a culture has like.
I know it's really unlike anywhere I've ever marched. Like the culture, it just runs so deep, and it's been that way for decades.
Yeah, and like, are you able to talk about nicknames?
Oh, I can talk about nicknames. Yeah.
So like, just real quick before you describe them, like with their nicknames, I marched with some people at Bulls or teach with people that went here, and they still know their nickname story and they can recite it on the dot.
Yeah, it's impressive, but it's how it should be because, I mean, if you don't know your nickname, you're a bitch.
So you want to like talk about them?
Yeah. So I mean, every rookie class comes in, and every rookie is given nicknames by the older vets of the drumline, and with each nickname comes with a story, and it is the rookie's job to memorize their story and never forget it. And whenever they're asked to recite it, they have to recite it. And I can tell you my story.
Go for it, because yours is long.
Mine was the longest in my rookie class. They did it to spite me, and I was also let it show on the record. I was first one to memorize my long story. So my nickname is Coda, and it goes from at 3-Day Fest, which is like the first gathering that the drumline has. I introduced myself and we were telling jokes, and I tried to tell an hour-long joke, the same one that we heard in the van at Nexus. And yeah, I tried to tell that joke, and I got maybe 15 minutes through it, and they just said, yeah, that's enough. And so it goes from an hour-long joke to long to Latin to doof to SUV to bunco, and those are the 5 titles of our cadences in our cadence series. Bunko to crunko to cronk to Emperor's New Groove to Disney to D's Nuts to Godin to Goddard to Jimmy Neutron to Who's That Foreign Kid from Jimmy Neutron to Bolby, which is another kid on the drum line. His nickname is Bolby. To Oh Wait, That's Already Taken to Liam Neeson to I Have a Special Set of Skills to Nipple Photoshop to Adobe Sweet to Sweet Life of Zach and Cody to Mr. Mosby to Moses to the Bible to Catholics to Newman to Bolby again, because Bolby lived in Newman Center, which is a place for Catholic people to live on campus, if you didn't know. So it goes Newman to Bolby again to oh shit, we already said that to oh shit, we already played that to take the coda to Coda. So that's the gist of it. You have this long story, and then you get to the end of it, and that's the person's nickname. And you either how it works is like you can have somebody that just like you maybe like look at somebody and just like have like a name that you're thinking of just really kind of fits them, or maybe like me, you just have a funny story and they just like build off that.
Yeah.
So that's nicknames. Some very funny ones and things I can't say.
Yeah, there's definitely some nicknames you've told me like that's.
And there's a lot of traditions in the drumline I can't talk about. But yeah, it's the things we do. It's very much like a family in a sense. And it's like I said, like the atmosphere and like the things in the tradition is very much unlike anywhere I've ever marched. I've marched a few places.
Yeah. So being in the big, I would argue U of I is probably one of the larger colleges in the state of Illinois.
Well, it is the state flagship.
Haven't seen flags or ships here, but okay.
Got a couple flags.
So with that being said, like a lot of high school marching bands come to the show or like want to audition here. Mm-hmm. Has anyone ever like approached you saying, "Oh, you're with MI"?
Oh, dude, I got some a few people that a little weird. Like I received DMs a few times,
okay.
Like especially
sliding in there,
especially around the Marching Man championships that are held on campus. It's like people will like. So I had somebody from IMBC my first year I did it like remembered me from like last year, and they came up to me this year, and like we're just like trying to like engage in conversation with me like I literally had not just seen them in a year.
Yeah. like they're pretending like it was just yesterday.
It's like I know everything about them, like I even know their name, and I'm just like I you know what to do in those situations. it's uncomfortable, but I mean it's give and take. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't trade anything for it.
So you were saying how IMBC, which is the Marching Man show.
Yeah.
You have a merch booth.
Yeah.
And people are like excited to see you guys. You had to work at your first year, right?
I worked both years.
Anyone come up to you and like besides that kid? Are they? Because I know you guys sell drum heads with like your signatures, which I would never buy. Knowing you guys, like they're just normal people.
Yeah.
Like, why are people so excited to like buy all this stuff?
I think it's because they're high schoolers, and like when you're in high school, and especially the high schoolers that come to IMBC, a lot of them are Central Illinois high schools, and they don't get out. Like they don't get out a lot.
Not much around here.
Yeah, like they don't know about DCI, they don't know about WGI. So that when they come to U of I, they experience like the next level for them. It's like this big thing, grandiose thing that like maybe they could never picture themselves doing.
Sure.
I mean, I was in the same boat at one point. I could never picture myself doing it. High school, I never thought that I could do it. But I mean, I think it's just that it's exciting to them because like we are just like I don't want to say like higher to them, but it's like we're like the next level to them.
Yeah, you guys are like some of the top tier.
They like look up to us. But it's also just weird when they come up to you and just say like, Coda, and just stare at you, and it's just like,
hey, how's it going?
Hey, nice day. But yeah, we got good shirts. We sell at the booth.
They were some pretty sweet
really,
shirts.
Always fire shirts designed by people on the drumline. We have an excellent design team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to talk about what you did with the Post-it notes?
Oh yeah, I would write my Instagram handle on it and just post it like around the merch booth and around different areas where all the kids would be, and I got like 9-10 new followers that day. At It's Uncanning on Instagram. Thanks.
Shout out to Danny for writing the intro song for this.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty good. Just wanted to throw you that shout out.
Yeah, but you did the nice mixing with the voices.
Oh dude, I am the best.
Okay. Alright, so that, I mean, I've got to do, like, you got to play at the All-Star game with the Bulls.
Sure.
But with me, I mean, I've got to travel a little bit.
Okay.
I've got to...
Where are we going?
Got to see some things. You know, I played in Soldier Field. Oh. And I'll have you know, I was on the football field at the same time as Tom Brady.
Wow.
Yeah.
This guy. Did you meet him?
I saw him from a distance. So basically, pretty close to what you had with LeBron James.
That wasn't a distance. He acknowledged me.
Basically, I mean, LeBron James knows the same about you that Tom Brady knows about me.
I mean, that's fair.
Do you think LeBron James could even remember that Mexican guy who gave him a head nod?
Yeah, everyone remembers that.
In United Center a couple months ago?
It was like a year ago.
Okay. Case closed.
I have a question here from my Instagram poll that I put up a couple days ago.
Oh.
And I figured this probably is going to apply to you most because Mickey and I can't really answer this.
Yeah.
Friendships in college band versus friendships in WGI/DCI. Differences and similarities.
Huh. It is very different.
Yeah.
Oh man, in DCI, it's a different level of friendship because you're really going through something with them.
Like if you hit your wall at the same time as someone else, you're going to be good friends.
Yeah. And like in DCI, you just put through situations where like you've never experienced before, and you need other people to lean on and get you through those situations.
For sure.
Like that'll help you. Like that'll get you closer to like any other people like that. Like people you don't know. Like you'll just open up to, and then you'll just be like best friends.
Yeah.
You're going through a hard time. You're both going through a hard time together. And I think the thing is like just mutually getting like yelled at day in and day out, standing in the sun all day, just sweating. It's just like it brings you all together at the end of the day. Like you'll hate each other during the summer, but it brings you all together at the end. And like miss everyone that I marched with.
Oh, for sure.
But at college, we're all like I would consider like all the people on the drum like my best friends, but it's not the same experience that we're going through. And so like the not to say the relationship is not as deep, because at the same time we do a lot with each other in college. Like how many parties do I go with the drum line, and and how many different things do I get to experience with them, like traveling to California and playing in the Red Box Bowl. Like that was crazy. Like, and being able to do that with all of them was just like made it all better.
Yeah.
And that was like a complete luxury compared to DCI. Both are traveling, but it's like very different.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're like you're also not really naked with your college friends ever. And you like in DCI and WGI, you shower with the people before shows and things like that, and it's just part of the culture, and that's part of the gags you do is you just Sometimes you take a shower with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's just what you do for the gag.
Speaking of which, when Andy sent us that text the other day, saying, "Hey man, thinking about you guys," in like this group chat, making myself a Sheeby&J for you guys. Nice. Like I'm glad we left our legacy.
Did we talk about Sheeby&J's in the Drum Corps podcast? I don't know.
We did because you mentioned it at X with the Schwananas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Aldremage texted us the other day and said that he was making a Sheeby&J for us, and really just warmed my heartstrings.
Yeah. Nothing better.
Really isn't. So yeah, I mean, what else? Ask me more questions.
About college band?
Yeah.
Let me think.
I could talk more about the Redbox Bowl.
Go for it while I think of some questions.
Yeah, that was unreal because our football team had a crazy season where, in order to go to a bowl game, you have to get 6 wins in your regular season.
Sure.
And for some schools, it's not that big of a deal. But for Illinois, the football team has been turning around, but they weren't the greatest. But this year, we had a couple, like last year we got 4 wins, and then like we haven't been to a bowl game in like 5 years.
Oh, okay.
At this point. So like last year's graduating class of MI was the first class to graduate without going to a bowl game in quite some time, actually. So yeah, it was kind of big for us to be going this year because we weren't really sure when we'd ever be going, if we'd get to experience it ever. And to be going to California of all places, like we could have been going to the one in Detroit, the one in like New York, and like granted, like those would be fun, but at the same time, it was like January, like we were in California like a few days after New Year's, so it was like the dead of winter, and I
wasn't a few days before New Year's.
I really don't remember.
Because I thought I picked you up from it.
Oh yeah, and it was
and then
New
we
Year's
hung
Eve.
out. Yeah,
you're right. So it was like in between Christmas and New Year's, and like the dead of winter. And I don't know about you. I don't want to be in Detroit or New York when it's winter time.
Yeah, it's just cold. We get that in Illinois,
especially when you have the option of going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got to see some crazy upsets in the football season. Like we beat nationally ranked Wisconsin. They were ranked number 6 in the nation at the time. We beat them. And like a last second like field goal upset. It was insane. It was like one of the top like it's really big, one of the biggest upsets for quite some time for Illinois. And then later on in the season, we got to travel with the football team to Michigan State, and they have a pretty good football team as well. And we actually beat them there in like a last second like touchdown. It was like crazy in that, and we came back from a 3-28 deficit, which is the largest comeback in school's history. And I got to witness that on the only road game I've ever been on with a football team. So that was crazy.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, and I got to see we got to drum with the MSU drum line, which is awesome. We got to see a bunch of old buddies, Cam from X and Brett. Oh, that was a lot of fun.
One thing I thought about, a question for you. Mm-hmm. So with drumline and everything, how serious do you guys take yourselves? Like, how often are you rehearsing? Do you wish there were more notes? Like, what's kind of the vibe and mindset?
Really, the vibe is that we want to be good, and that we want to be as good as we can be, and we're not expecting like drum corps level precision, because we're not.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are learning how to play snare, like I was my first year, and so a lot of that is just like, let's try to be good, and like, but pull your own weight, and like don't be BS about things. Like obviously, like if you're not practicing, then that's a problem. But the dynamic of the drumline is that if you really don't want to put in the effort, you really don't have to, because not everybody does every performance.
Yeah.
So like if you just don't want to practice and just read out the end of the snare line and like not being anything, and you're happy with that, like I mean, more power to you. Just don't make it sound bad when you're actually in the full line for something.
Okay, for sure.
But like, I think honestly, we could be a lot better. I think part of it is that we think we're complacent with how we are. Like, we're not bad. We've had some good moments. We've also had some very bad moments this season, like cleanliness-wise. Mm-hmm. And we could be better. We could always be better. But a lot of people have come a long way, and it's good to see. I forgot where I was going. But, I mean, we do take it semi-seriously, and we sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, like, rehearsals, we rehearse every day during the first semester, and like every day, including in plus school, and like, yeah, it is a lot. So I mean, like, you're not gonna be like pulling like drum corps blocks, like, but yeah.
What's the how many people from the drum line, or I guess MI in general, also do drum corps and like indoor? Is it a big like ratio of people, or is it pretty much if you're here you're pretty much doing college band?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Yeah, you're good. Like, so out of all the people in MI or drumline, how many do like drum corps or WGI? Is it a lot of people?
It's a handful. It's not as many as it used to be back in the like earlier 2010s. That's when the line was like really good. A lot of those dudes marched like cabbie snare line, and that's when cabbies was winning like drum titles. So they were pretty good back then. And now it's a few of us do, but not all of us. Like the two guys, there's 3 of us, I think, on the snare line that have marched drum corps, and 2 of us marched in the front ensemble in drum corps.
Nice.
So, yeah, and the other person marched snare and drum corps. So, I mean, that's that. And then we had somebody on the bass line who marched drum corps on bass, and then somebody in cymbals. I think only one person in cymbals who marched drum corps and cymbals, and nobody in tenors.
I was going to say who marched drum corps on bass, but I think I figured it out.
Yeah, Knox.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Eddie and I not only marched together, but we also have been on the other side of the spectrum, and we've taught together.
Oh, you want to talk about teaching?
No, I just brought it up.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Talk about
we'll just mention it. Yeah, teaching. Yeah, I've taught. Some would argue too many programs.
Yeah, you and I have both done the task of teaching 3 schools in
a season.
A
That was horrible.
Granted, I didn't do the fall part. I've never taught a high school in the fall because I have to go back down to school, and I would think that's when it gets the most hectic.
It's a lot to balance because now I'm in school as well.
Yeah, and you're trying to balance like who's at what competitions. Yeah. Like if I can like drive to these other competitions, make it, and see other people's performances. Like,
there was one year I went to both U of I and ISU on the same day.
Good thing they're not too far.
Yeah, like I stayed here at your place, drove to ISU for one of my bands, left, came back for my other band, and then hung out with you the rest of the night.
Yeah. So that was fun though.
Yeah, no, teaching's cool. I got into it right after high school, so like 18. Mm-hmm. I got super lucky with it. I was hanging out with my roommate at the time, and we just kind of said, hey, let's go get some food. And we had to walk past the local high school to get to where we wanted to go. We walked there, and I noticed the marching band's coming out. And this is after my second season of drum corps. Mm-hmm. So we walk, and then we get our food. We start walking back, and I tell him, hey, I'll meet you back at the room. I'm just going to hang out here and like watch for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see the marching band. Mm-hmm. And then I'm watching. All of a sudden, I text my band director friend, our old band director, hey, do you know the band director of Brother Rice High School?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? I'm right next door. I'm watching them right now. Is there any chance you could like give me a job? Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how much band paid. I was more just kind of wanted to do it to like have the experience of teaching. Yeah. So within the next 30 minutes, I left there with a job.
Pretty funny.
All because I wanted to go get some food.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic Eddie wanting food.
The director came up to me and he's like, hey, you're Sanchez's friend? Yeah, I'm just texting him. I didn't realize he would get to you so fast. Okay, well, we kind of do have an opening for a drumline position. How about you hang out with them for the day, or like the rest of rehearsal if you have time, and then we can talk about it. So I did. I chilled out with their drumline for the rest of the day. I walk up, hey guys, my name's Eddie Gomez. I'm going to be working with you guys. We'll see where this goes. And if I was a student, I'd be confused as hell. Mm-hmm. This guy just walks up randomly, and it's already like August. Then the woodwind tech came over like, hey, who are you? I'm like, I'm just kind of testing this out. I like you a lot. I'll make sure he gives you a job.
Just a guy who walked in off the street.
Yeah, like they don't know my background, which is kind of sketchy, but hey, I got a job right out of high school.
Money, yeah. How are the kids? They get better?
It was actually their first year in competitive band. Yeah. Because it was just like a show band for a little bit.
Yeah.
But they had the right attitudes and mindsets. They just didn't understand what competition was. Mm-hmm. Like they wanted to do it for the fun, not for like getting good.
Yeah.
But they were never shitty about it. They weren't like crappy mindseted students. I could get through to them. Then I've taught at some other high schools. I mean, like, I always think that I'm trying to teach the way I would want to be taught. And I respond very well to individual comments like, hey, quads, play like this. I mean,
very direct, like, you are doing this wrong.
Yeah, like, Eddie, you need to fix this way.
Here's how to do it.
Yeah, I'm not about the schmanzy pansy. All right, guys, what was wrong with that? Like, I just want to know the answers. And if I can help the kids, like, figure that out, I will say, like, I want to set you up for success. I'm going to see if you can hear this. What did you hear through that? And I'm not going to let them keep guessing, like, 50 times. I'm going to let them know.
That's the hardest part about teaching is, I think, like, how do I tell these kids that they suck without making it personal? And, like, also, like, how do I make them, like, how do I get through to them? Because, like, you can't just kind of suggest to an high schooler, like you just can't be like, hey, maybe you should try, like, just try playing a little lower there, maybe it'll help.
No, like, hey, little Joey, you gotta play it, like, this way, but you can't come off as a jerk. Because then you have to start chatting with parents.
Then you get into legal issues and paperwork. But yeah, so you and I both taught at the same high school, Stag, for, I mean, I taught there for 2 years.
I was there for 3.
Yeah. And, well, I got in there because of you and Mickey, both. Yeah. And you and Mickey taught the battery, and obviously I was teaching the pit with a guy who was actually in the Instagram Live.
Oh, what up?
Roland, yeah. Or Roland, as I like to call him.
I mean, we made some pretty good percussionists that year.
Yeah, no.
We did not suck.
I like Stag a lot. It's probably one of my more favorite schools to teach, because the kids there they tried to an extent. Like, there were some kids who didn't want to be there at all, and you could tell, but they were also really good kids who, some of which I still keep in contact with and reach out to me for, like, advice about things.
All right, we're back. Just found out that the camera idea did not work. Kept shutting off after 13 minutes every time, so...
Freaking idiot.
Well, we'll hopefully figure that out for next time. But back to teaching, we want to kind of wrap it up with... I want to ask Danny what his personal philosophy is on teaching it. So, hey, what's your personal philosophy? Like, what do you like to teach? How do you like to teach compared to how you learn?
I remember you saying that you like to teach how you like responded well, what you responded well to. And I'm the same way in the sense, like, I respond well to, I think I said, like, I respond well to, like, very direct comments telling me what I did wrong and what I can to fix it.
Yeah.
I can do to fix it. And, like, I don't, like, a lot of times staff will try to play guessing games, like, you guys will get better if you try to figure it out, but a lot of times in those situations, like, it's not that we know or don't know, it's just the fact that we're, like, immature musicians.
Yeah.
And it's like we just don't know what to hear, what playing clean sounds like, or what it feels like, because it is, like, a completely different feeling.
And there's no way to replicate unless you just do it. Yeah. It's just so hard to get to.
And it's not like something you can practice on your own. That's something you need to do with other people, and that takes a lot of time, and that's why becoming a good musician is really hard. But back to my teaching philosophy, I mean, I like to push, like, I teach, like, my front ensembles, like, pretty hard stuff. I try to challenge them, and, like, I try to get them excited about what they're playing. I try to get them inspired via the same way I did. I try to get them introduced to, like, WGI and DCI, and I try to get them to want to be good on their own, because I feel like that people who get really good at something most of the time are not forced to. Like, they do it because they want to, and because, like, this is what they're interested in, and it's, like, through their own will that they're gonna choose to spend all day practicing. And that's my goal with that. So I teach them hard stuff that will, like, get them better really fast. And when it comes to, like, teaching, like, technique, I teach it basically copy and paste how I was taught it. Like, same words, same analogies, because honestly I think that's what worked best.
For sure.
It's very simple. And yeah, I'm very laid back when teaching as well.
Nice.
Kids like me a lot. I think it's important to be liked by your kids, otherwise they're not going to listen to you at all.
True.
It's hard for me to get them to listen to me like when they like me, because that's just how, like, younger kids are. But it's especially hard when they don't like you and don't want to hear what you have to say, don't respect you.
For sure.
So that's a big part of it. So yeah, that's pretty much that.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up there. Leave a like, subscribe,
and hit that bell.
Comment what you want us to, like, talk about.
leave us questions because we can only talk so much with each other before we get sick of each other. So it's easy when other people. Why you look so hurt?
Oh man.
It's easy when it's easier to keep this thing going because we want to keep it going for a while when we have outside suggestions coming in. So just if you want to like if you're friends with us and like want to know like a particular story or just like want to know more about it, it's just like ask away and we will ignore it.
All right, well, we'll catch you on the next one. Catch you on the flippity flip.